Hello, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today is just a quick little update on what I'm doing today and why I'm doing it before we get into the processing of the feed trial birds and the ongoing sorting and selection of the flock. So, as you have birds coming of age, and when you find yourself buried in growouts of multiple age groups, and you have a finite amount of space, you have to become a juggler and figure out how all that's going to work. So today I needed some dog food for the Yorkie and some gravy for our bigger dogs. And so I elected to process the boy from pen number 3 because he really wasn't breeding himself forward as strongly as what I wanted to see. So we pulled him out of the gene pool, and now I need to clean that pen and then merge some birds in order to open a pen so that I have a place to put promising and better grow outs into. So I have my cleaning tools here. I'm going to get into pen 3 over there. There's 4 females remaining. I'm going to scrub everything, and then I'm pulling the trio from pen 5, because I've been watching this boy ever since he was a youngster. And then I did some test mating with just the 2 females. And he's actually pretty special. And I think he deserves some more girls that compliment him. So those 3 will come out, they'll move into here, and then I'll clean out that pen, and then that'll be a pen ready to receive promising grow outs. And I'll do a video on who makes the cut, why they made the cut, why they ended up in a potential breeding pen while they grow some more. Because what I don't do is count my eggs before they hatch. And to give the birds time to show what they're made of, what they're expressing, and then how they breed those things forward or not. And if they don't, then I pull them out and replace them. And I've been watching the hybrids. I have a pile of them over there growing out. And based on them and based on some of the young upstarts I have coming up for the pure American Bresse, I'm now at that crossroads of deciding if I'm going to pursue that project and if they're worth the space. Because if you've got really good birds coming up that are purebred, that's always kind of like the no-brainer to follow that. So we'll see. I got to get my hands on them, do some more thinking. But yeah, every time I have promising birds up and coming, I got to get in this barn and figure out who we can eat and who we can condense to free up an open pen. Because the one thing that can be pretty dramatic is introducing birds to each other that don't know each other very well. And you kind of have to watch and figure out if the new dynamic is going to work or not. So after I get pen 3 cleaned out, I'm going to make sure those 4 girls who remain are locked up. I'm going to shut the door, and then I'm going to move the other 3 over and see how that goes. I'm definitely going to record if there's any drama or not. So let me stop procrastinating on chores and go ahead and get it done so we can move on to what that looks like. And if there's anything to learn from it. Because that's always important. You never want to stop learning. You want to keep that going all the time. Alright, so as far as pen cleaning goes, I'm going to shovel out what's wet around the drinker, because they do have some spatter, nowhere near as bad as ducks. And then I'm going to look for clumps and piles back under the roost area. And these pens, they started out as sand before I fell in love with peat moss as the preferred bedding. So as I remove material from here, I'll be topping it off with peat moss because I kind of really like that mix of the peat moss and the sand for the odor neutralization that peat moss does with the fluff factor and then the fluff factor of the sand. I really like that mix, as it turns out. Now, of the 4 girls who are in this pen, each one has some traits that are different from another, and the male has his own traits. And I'm hoping to highlight that when I bring him in this pen so we can do some comparisons there while we observe for the overall flock fit. There is one who's trying to lay an egg. I'm going to try not to disturb her too much, and I wish she was over in the nest box. And this male is really, really good at showing the girls where to lay. The 2 ladies that he has always hit the nest box. So I'm hoping he can transfer some of that to these other 4 females. Let me go ahead and get the task done so we can see what kind of drama might ensue. Alright, I have the pen all cleaned out with the 4 ladies inside. I shut their door. And then I set up a little chute so I can go next door, grab those 3, and walk them on in here for a low stress introduction. And we will see how that goes. So I'm just gonna casually walk over here, get behind them, send them out the door. Well, anytime there's anything new, they're bound to freak out about it. Oh, come on. Don't make me chase you. Just go on. It'll be alright. Follow your man. There they go. Usually, it's the girls that start the stuff. And the boy may or may not get involved. I'm gonna go ahead and walk in and shut the door behind me. And what I'm looking for is outside of the norm for pecking order stuff. Each pen had its own boss hen. And it's those 2 that are going to have to settle their differences and figure things out. Now, as far as the boy goes, he's actually pretty well balanced. But there's some things that I would change about him. But he's pretty close to what I'm after. He has a nice medium leg length. He has good leg color. He has a nice full tail that slopes off the body pretty well. His feathers are a little on the fluffy side, which gives an illusion of a shorter back than what he actually has. But his demeanor, his vigor, everything he does, plus his width, in his fleshing, he feels meaty as heck. Even though he's not the biggest guy in the flock, he has so many other boxes checked off. So when I sit down and look, I'm looking for any female that may not suit him that well. He's proven to be really good at throwing his leg color forward. He has always managed females really well. Well, now I have concerns about one that he had already because his comb kind of does a flyaway where the back of the blade rises up, and that female has that much worse. So that's actually going to double down on that fault, and I can't say I'm too crazy about that one. That female back there in a high alert position, that's a pretty nice slope, but the tail leans towards a little high. So I can't say that I would be surprised if I got higher-tailed offspring from that. Now, when the birds are in the mood for drama, they are going to tighten in their feathers. And when they tighten in those feathers, you get a much better visual of what their actual physical silhouette is. I like the tail spread on that one. And that one. You guys doing okay? He doesn't even know what to think. That tail's probably a little high for him. I don't know. See, you kind of take your ingredients of what you have available in the flock and then hatch and see. And if you get the results you want, keep doing that. And if you don't get the results that you want to see, then change things. And I was not 100% satisfied with what the number 3 male was doing out of this pen with these females. So I'm giving this guy a shot with those girls. Now it's up to me if I want to individually collect the eggs and pair hatch over this group, or if I want to see a pen average, then I can go ahead and clan collect, clan hatch, and see how those percentages work out. But 9 times out of 10, that method of clan hatching, it'll show you there's birds to pull out, but you won't know who they are until you actually get in there and hatch individually, bird by bird. And that will show you who has to come out of the pen. I do favor changing the pen lineup halfway through the season, which is right now for us. And I will give this pen the benefit of the doubt over the next several months of egg collection, which I need to also pay attention to the virility of the male before. And he is already known for keeping eggs fertilized for like 3 months. This guy, we'll see if he can override that. But I'm not going to really give consideration to the hatch results of this pen until we get to like October to be sure that that one is the sire. But I know they're going to make pure Bresse. I know they're going to make pretty meaty results, and I know we're going to eat well. So even though I just changed everything about this pen, I'm still going to set eggs, but I'm going to know that the specific father might not be the one that's in here. And I am on a mission to refill our freezer and to keep our meat buyer well supplied with chicken. Oh, look how high she's carrying her tail. When you get them fired up like this, they're going to show you a lot more than when they're cool, calm, and collected. See how tight she's holding her feathers in? Let's wait and see when she walks off after this preening. The preening right now is all for show. She's telling the other birds in this pen, I don't care what you're doing. I'm a prima donna. I have dominance. And I'm going to do my normal chicken things in full display. Chickens are so weird. So if I had to deduce what I might see from this grouping, these two are going to make pretty nice babies with pretty correct combs that aren't too big. A couple of them might lean towards higher tails. We'll just eat those. That one has a real nice slope. That was a little shallow in the chest. But she felt meaty because I already went through all of these pens and I already pulled out everyone that wasn't that meaty. Because there's a certain table physique that I'm looking for. But in terms of how this is going right now, and the chasing around that some of these birds are doing, and him just kind of taking things in, I feel pretty confident that I can walk away from this pen and no one's going to kill each other. They're going to sort out their differences. They're going to figure out their new hierarchy. And he's going to be pretty happy having the extra ladies. So I'll clean out the pen next door and get it prepped to take in some new offspring. And in a later video, I'll show you who they are, because I can fit about 6 birds in there. And I have 44 birds to get through. So I'll be looking for a little better than 10% of the 44. See who's going to be their new neighbor. Pretty sure these are the original 4 hens. And then the trio's checking out the feeder. Now we have a new addition sneaking herself in because she understands the power plays going on now. And the more they involve themselves with each other, the more cohesive of a flock they're going to come up with. And then hopefully this girl gets a break. Get her feathers grown in later this summer. Alright, this went pretty well. So if you take birds that didn't live together and you add them together, this is what I would hope to see. Where they just kind of get through their differences and figure it out. Alright, back to work. I have some more flock juggling to do. More on this later.